Good morning everyone and welcome to snowy Switzerland. This is a little bit different from my last video in Dubai and I'm definitely not complaining. I love the Alps in the winter time, especially if you have a cool car to drive around in. Today I'm in the Porsche Macan Turbo Performance that Porsche Center Zug have given me for a couple of weeks, and yeah, definitely can't complain whatsoever. This is an absolutely awesome winter car. As you just saw also from the intro on the video, Porsche Center Zug have some really cool cars in the showroom. I spent way too much of my time there drinking coffee and drooling over cars that I can't afford. Hopefully I will eventually own my very own Porsche. I'm not sure when, but the time is definitely getting closer. And today what I thought I would do is literally just go for my first drive in the snow of the winter. It has been snowing this morning, as you can see, although it did just before turn into rain a little bit, but the further I go up the mountain, of course, the colder it gets and the more snow I should also have. So with that being said, I said we jump in the car and go for my first drive up this small mountain pass, which is also probably going to be quite slippery, but shouldn't be a problem in this whatsoever. This has 440 horsepower, and to be honest, I've never really been big into SUVs. Only the last half year I've been starting to get into them, and I've always wanted to try the Macan. A friend of mine owns the Macan and he always talks good about it, and now after driving it for a couple of days, I'm starting to see why it's really such a good size. This car in the city, you just have no problem. Yesterday I drove through some really deep snow and it just did it without hesitation whatsoever. And at the moment I've got it in sport mode and in manual, and honestly it's just so much fun to drive. You really can drive this like a sports car as well. Obviously had to be a bit careful now because the snow and ice on the road, and I was interested to see how it compares to the Panamera, which I had some months back, because the Panamera is pretty much double the price, and I thought to myself, can the Panamera really be twice as good as this? And honestly, after driving this, as much as I love it, now looking back to my experience with the Panamera, it really is worth it. That car was just epic, and I'm going to be getting the e-hybrid after this, which I cannot wait to film. Okay, so it is now started snowing quite hard at the top. So I know recently I've gone a bit Porsche crazy. That is for a few reasons. First of all, I'm just really enjoying working with them as they are working with me, and my passion for Porsches have just grown massively over the last couple of months, especially, as you all know, for the GT3 and the GT4, which everyone knows I'm completely obsessed with. I've got one negative thing to say, and that is the control panel here, and actually up here as well. The amount of buttons is madness. It's almost intimidating. There's so many buttons. You look at it and think, oh my god, like what am I meant to do? There's just too many buttons, especially up here as well. It's really confusing to look at. On the new Panamera it's something else, you have with the touchscreen, but on this you still have all these buttons, and I just think not only is there too many, but I think it just looks really ugly. They're also kind of plasticky, but that is pretty much my only complaint of this car, because otherwise the exterior I love the way it looks, especially from the back, and in all black it looks really cool, looks menacing, it looks smart also. Maybe this one is a bit too kind of business spec, but it does look really cool all in black. The interior for me is otherwise pretty much perfect. There's nice leathers everywhere, you've got Alcantara all up in the top. It's just a really comfortable, nice car to drive. When I'm driving this, I just feel warm and safe and comfortable, but then at the same time you can put it into manual, open up the exhaust and have some fun when the traction control stops kicking in, and it sounds pretty cool as well. It sounds really cool actually. I think, considering it is an SUV, you don't exactly want it loud, but I think that sounds good. Okay, so while it's snowing, what I want to do quickly is head back up to the top and get some pictures. I've been dying to get my first snow pictures this year, and now it looks like a good time to do it. I think this seems like a pretty cool location to take a couple of pictures. I'm going to do it quickly before my feet freeze and the camera gets too wet. I would film at the same time taking some pictures, but I use the same camera for filming and pictures, so that's not possible. And yeah, I would not advise wearing Converse in the snow. They are not really waterproof and my feet are soaking wet already. Not very practical of me there. Take a couple of pictures quickly and get back in the warm. So it has started snowing a lot again since I've been taking some pictures, and the road is completely covered once more. So I think I'm going to finish today's video off just driving back over in the snow. What should we go for? Let's go for sport mode. Put the suspension in soft, and I'm thinking to take the traction control off. I know that sounds a bit ridiculous, but I would like to try it to see how it is. Obviously I'm going to take it relatively easy, put it in manual. That's a lot of fun. That makes for a lot more fun. I would not advise, by the way, taking the traction control off to anyone. You need to be relatively confident with what you're doing. Get the back end out a little bit. This is part of the fun of driving in the snow, or the main part of the fun. You can feel like you're a professional rally driver or drifting Ken Block style, when actually we all know we're not. You get that brief sensation that you can drift cars. If only it was that easy in real life. I was just thinking, why is it so dark in here and the top is completely covered in condensation? Yeah, that is not ideal. I'm being dripped on from the inside. That's not what you want. Sounds good. Look at that. Look at these drifting skills. Oh, I was about to say like a pro then, and it was all going to go terribly wrong really fast. There is only one way to turn around in a snowy car park. It is like that. That's what you do in the snow. Really though, when you put this in sport mode, put it into manual, you really have fun in it, like you're in a sports car. The way it changes gear as well really feels like I'm driving a proper sports car. So I'm going to end today's video now. I'm already running a little bit late for a meeting. It's purely because I'm just having way too much fun in the snow, and I cannot wait to come back up here in the GT3. This is going to be absolutely madness. I just can't wait, and the pictures, of course. So I shall see you all again very soon, hopefully back in the snow, and without a doubt back in another Porsche.